Hold on, everybody. I'm going on live a little early. Let me get my equipment hooked up, but I'm going ahead and going live now so everybody can start coming on into the room. Come on into the room. Hold on, let me.
Pairing.
All right, let's do this. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. It's going to have to be good enough. There we go. It's messing up my hair. My hair is so cute. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got 2 minutes before we're about to start. I am just adjusting my headphones. Oh, is that upside down? Oh, is that how it works? Am I doing this right? Okay, okay. I don't know why that particular headphone's like pushing itself out. It's something weird, but it's kind of not grabbing now for some reason. What is that? It's like it's loose. Oh, oh. It is loose because it snapped out of itself for some. What? What? It's like the screw went screwy. Why is there always something going on with production? I need a production team. Chad, I'm gonna have to take these things apart to try to fix them. Mono, y'all are janky for this because I don't even really use this but once a week, every couple. I'm talking about falling apart, y'all. Falling. You know how much these headphones were? To fall apart on the sister? Ah, I am insulted. Ah, what? Well, like that, it snapped back in, but I need that part to be in this part for all the parts to come together. I didn't do anything to these headphones, but anywho's, it's 8 o'clock and it's the adjuster checkup. It's the adjuster checkup, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the adjuster checkup. We're going without headphones today because, yeah, after probably less than 15 uses, I'm giving Mono a bad review on their headphones. Just fell apart on a sister for no reason. Literally was just putting it on my head. But whatever. We'll work that out with them. This is a redo. Forgive me and thank you for being so patient with me. Let me just send out these notifications really, really quick before we get started and do the redo because we tried to do episode 2 last week while I was still at PLRB. I was in my hotel room and I still have not made a choice yet. I have to get a new laptop because the hard drive in my old laptop died. And I'm actually using an older laptop, the one I previously had before I got the one that just died. And so, because it is an older model, it's not as good, I guess, on volume or doing podcasts. So the volume was terrible. No one could hear me. I was literally yelling. I disturbed my hotel neighbors. They banged on the connecting door. And so I went back and I listened to it and I couldn't live with it. I couldn't do it. Um, so as a result, I said, okay, I can't just go on with episode 3 as if episode 2 was not a dumpster fire. So here we are in episode 2 once again. Welcome to the Adjuster Checkup, season 2, episode 2. And just to do a little bit of a reminder here, season 2, and I just closed out all my windows. Season 2 of the Adjuster Checkup is all about adjuster I think we themed it after adjuster success. And so, being successful as an adjuster in this industry, there's a lot of factors that go into play in order for that to happen for you. It's not enough just to be licensed and to go to one licensing class or get a little Xactimate training. That's the basics, all right? That's the basics of what you need in order to do the job. Um, what you need to do to excel at this industry is, yeah, be the best that you can be. And actually, I take it back. Adjuster Checkup season one was about adjuster success. Season two is about longevity, adjusting longevity. Okay. And so it's about what can you do? What do you need to do to not just secure your particular position, deployment opportunities, but how do you stand out amongst the crowd in order to, you know, stick with doing this the longest? I remember when I I had gotten started and I got in with Katrina, and a lot of great things happened really fast. I was put in a trainer position, did an impromptu training, being an MSB help room helper, and that eventually led to us being recommended to be in the contents unit. And in the contents unit, I think I was there a week or two when Mike Spence, God rest his soul, promoted me to be a team lead. And because I had all of this really great success starting off and it was very strong, when we did finally get released, and I just thought, I don't need to call them. I was a team lead. I was training. I was doing all this kind of stuff. So what do I need? They know who I am. I don't need to call them. They're gonna call me. They're gonna be knocking on my door. They're gonna be on my voicemail on my phone. And I was sadly mistaken. And because I had my proverbial ass on my shoulders, and because I had I was feeling like I'm the, sugar honey iced tea, I did not call. I was feeling very stubborn. I was not calling deployment. I was not um putting my best foot forward. I was not even getting any additional training. I was just like, that's all I need. Look at the accomplishments that I've made. Look at me. And I found out after being so stubborn, to where I ran out all of my adjuster money from the first deployment, from Katrina, and after I think I ran that out in about 6 months, maybe almost a year. When I ran that out, yeah, I had to hold on one second, you all. I had to. I went and got like a nut job. I went and got a regular job. I think that was the time where I was working um at JC Penney. And then I think I moved over from JC Penney to working at Edward Jones here in St. Louis, and it was after, going back into the world and working regular jobs with regular pay that I'm like, what the heezy am I doing? And I pulled myself together and I started calling the deployment departments and I got back to work. And I had worked until I did not want to work anymore, until I wanted to pursue training with TPAS full time. So there's more that you're going to need. So let me give you a little bit. Our subject for this afternoon, or excuse me, this evening, is the T on PLRB. And I will say this is just part of the tea. This is not everything. I probably will do the next episode where I'll go into more detail about what PLRB. I think I talked about it before briefly last season. I'll go into it because it does help with adjuster longevity with the network that you have. And so I will, next episode, episode 3, we'll go into what is PLRB? What is it all about? What does it mean? And why am I recommending it? Why is it beneficial for you? But there was one particular conversation, a couple of few conversations that I had, that it just, all the bells and whistles started ringing out in my head like, ooh, we need to talk about this. Okay. And it's about how the And I'll say this. Let me put this disclaimer on here. Anything that I talk about, please do not take it as me trying to shade a person, a company, or anything like that. I'm trying to give you all the real so that you can go out into this world and be better at what you do so that you can be successful. So none of this is to be shady or anything of that sort. Nobody's came at me about that. I'm just giving you all, letting y'all know what's up. So anyhow, um, so yeah, I was having a conversation, and the conversation was talking about, what these carriers in particular, and the thing is, I'm coming from the carrier perspective because the carriers hire the IA firms, right? Who hire us, the independent adjusters, or the carriers are hiring the staff adjusters, right? And so, it's good to know what they're thinking and what they want and what they need so that you can fulfill those needs as the adjuster, right? The IA firm is hiring you or the carrier is hiring you directly. Um, so the subject for today is carriers are looking for AI to dummy proof claims adjusting. So basically the consensus was, here's what it comes down to. Quality adjusters are starting to become a rare breed. Trained adjusters, quality trained adjusters are becoming a rare breed. And because it's becoming a rare breed at the time that AI is on the rise, what is happening is they are looking to use AI to assist adjusters to making coverage decisions. And so, as we hear about AI, as every industry hears about AI, one of the first things you think about is this going to affect my job? Is this going to take my job from me? And to a certain extent, for some adjusters out there, it could, it may. Um, so think of it like this. If you're an adjuster performing at, I like to use ABCD, right? Like you're in school. You have people that perform at A levels, A plus levels. Those are your valedictorians, right? Then you have adjusters that perform at the B level. You have adjusters that perform at the C level. They do just enough to get by. Then you have adjusters who's performing at a D or an F in their performance. Okay. If you're a D, F, or C adjuster, I could foresee AI affecting your job because to, if you're not giving good customer service, if you're not able to make a proper coverage decision, if there are certain skill sets that you still do not have and you have not adopted, if you do not have the ability to critically think through a claims process, if when you're getting your reviews back on your files and you're steadily making the same mistakes over and over and over again, your file examiners have to keep telling you, remember, don't do this, remember that. Yeah, you might be in a position where AI may eventually replace you. Um, and that is not to scare anyone. That's to let you know, as we talk about for season two, adjusting longevity. You need to adjust. You need to adapt. You need to make yourself. And here's the thing. Here's the key to season two for this podcast. In order to have longevity, you're going to have to step your game up. You're going to have to become uh, invaluable. You're going to have to become irreplaceable. Because if you just like everybody else, then you just like everybody else. But if you, say for instance, learn a niche skill set, right? If you have a way of getting that great service out, talking to people, calming the situation, de-escalating the hot claims, right? If you are well versed in, maybe your thing is building code and you know how to go and find that building code and verify it and this and that, or negotiate with a um negotiate with a contractor, right? To get to an agreement on the estimate for the repairs. That is that is the type of skill set that you're going to need. Things like that or all of the above in order to be successful in this industry and have longevity in it. If you are just coming in just for the just to get a paycheck and go on about your business, then excuse me for not having my volume off. If that's your goal here, then you're not going to last long. You can be very successful in this industry. You can make a lot of money in this industry, but you're not going to make it if you don't apply yourself. And what I was trying to say when we tried to do this in the hotel last week is just like a basketball player, a sports player, a football player, right? They have to practice at what they do. It doesn't come to them. Yes, some of that skill comes naturally. They may naturally jump high. They may naturally have a nice jump shot. They may naturally run down the court and hit that layup real smooth, like right. But they still have to practice at it to perfect that skill, right? Because they're not always going to hit that free throw every single time. And how you get your percentages up in the game in the game of like basketball, for instance, in like your free throws percentages, your rebound percentages, you have to practice. And I don't think that we're not doing that. I think we're looking to the carriers and the IA firms to give us all the training that we need. And then whatever they don't give us, it's like, well, I ain't got it. They ain't taught me how to do it. Listen, I'm sorry to tell you, they're just not investing as much into training on any side of the game for carriers or IAs. It's sad. I don't necessarily agree with it. I believe that a lot of the things that we're dealing with in the industry where we're bleeding out, where we're losing money on fraud, the updated numbers that came out with the CLM magazine last year was $308.6 billion are paid out in fraudulent claims now. Okay, that's bad. And one of the reasons why that is happening is because the people behind the wheel who are making the coverage decisions, who are issuing the checks, they're just not trained well enough to be able to decipher information, to be able to look at documents that are coming in and make sure the documents are legit when you're looking at them and when you're everything. They're not double checking and making a phone call to say you got a contract in from a company, saying, hey, we're going to do this person's roof, or that's what they sent in. And a lot of times the adjuster is just accepting it. They're not double checking that. They're not calling back, even if it's for a release of depreciation. They're not calling back that roofer or that construction company to say, hey, I got an invoice here. I just want to make sure you are done with the repairs, correct? And you did do this, right? Did you do the gutters? Did you do the windows? Or if there's any other components to the estimate that repairs needed to be done, did you do that? We're not doing that. Or when we get quotes for certain things, we're not having the conversations on the phone. We just want to get quotes in, and we just want to pay. We just want to pray that they agree with the insurance company's price and pay for it, right? We're not doing. And here's the thing: these are things that when I was coming into the game, they taught us how to do. I don't think they're necessarily teaching you all that now. I think it's something that you're going to have to go and find somebody to teach you how to critically think through claims and how to get good at what you do. So, yes, you got to get the Exactimate training if you're on the property side, or if it's on the auto side, Mitchell or CCC. Yes, you have to you got to learn how to interpret the policy. I think a lot of times we're making policy decisions based on what management told us, based on what the person next to us told us, and they went off of what somebody else told them, and you're not verifying it for yourself because our human brain wants to just take something and be able to easily process it, and that's why they're thinking maybe AI would be better in adjusting, because we keep looking for just these blanket solutions, right? Like everything that's fire, this is how I process it. Everything that's water, this is how I process it. Everything that's wind, This is how I process it. But that's not necessarily how it works, which is why we say in training, you have to base every claim on its own merits. Because even though it's fire and even though it's all wind or even though it's all water, depending on the policy, depending on the construction of the home, depending on the region that you're in, depending on what caused the fire, all of that and more has a factor into how that claim is going to be settled. And every claim is different. You never know which way the claim is going to turn. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on here at TPAS, which is I cannot give you every scenario for every claim. I know everybody wants that because it's like, just tell me what to do. And that's why they want the AI in there, right? The AI is going to tell you what to do. The AI may be wrong because if you have if you have the people who don't know how to do the work right, teaching the AI how to assess the claim, it's kind of like the blind lead the blind. Okay. So we talk about dummying down the process, but if you got the dummies programming the program, then the program gonna be done too. Anywho, but just to double back, that's why here what I do is I can't teach you every scenario, but what I can do is I can give you a solid foundation. I run into claims even now after almost 20 years in the game. I'll be 19 years doing this come September of this year. I still run into claim scenarios where I'm like, dang, I've never ran into this before. What do I do? And what I do is I lean back into my foundation. Let's take it with the basics. Let me read this policy. Let me read this declarations page. Let me see the information that's coming in. Let me look at the photos. Do the photos make sense? Let's look at the cause of loss. Is it covered by the policy? Like I literally go back to the basics. And then as the claim grows and it transitions and it makes its lefts and its right turns and it goes up and it goes down and it's like a whole roller coaster, I still lean on my foundation. I'm getting new information in. One thing I know I got to do that we teach in our contents course is when you get information in, you get it. You would we call it bring your A game. Game. You get it, you address it, you make a decision, and you explain it. Right? So whatever you do, you got to make sure that once that decision is made, you can explain why you did or didn't pay for something, why you did or didn't accept anything, right? You have to. That's our job. Like, that's what we're being paid for. And if you're not doing it and you're not doing it well, then yes, the insurance carriers are looking for an AI or another solution to help you with the process because you're not processing the claims to their satisfaction. One I know for a fact it's taking too long. It's taking too long for you to make a decision. They're losing money having to pay you every day because it's taking too long. It's and then when you do make the decision, you kind of excuse my language, you half-assing it. You got stuff that you know you can pay for and you're not paying for it, holding off on something else that you have a question about. If you don't go ahead and just pay for what you know you owe, please get that out of the way because that can also get the insured off your back. Look at that claim and create a plan for it. I need to do a master class on claim handling. I'm kind of doing that for the insurers of Ghana come the end of June. That's one of the things that they came to me about. I had a carrier from Ghana say, "Listen, we don't know how to they don't know how to adjust losses and we don't know how to teach them. We don't know." So I'm literally creating something very specific for them to teach them how to investigate and adjust the losses. And I'm giving them the basics because there's no way we can give you every claim scenario. It's impossible. It's too many things out there. It's too many different scenarios. It's too many X factors. It's too many different regions, but you have a foundation though. You know you got to read that policy. If you don't know how to read the policy, go to a policy interpretation course. I beg you. You don't have to go to ours. We have one. You ain't got to go to our go to one of them, any of them. Start learning how to read the policy for yourself because if anything ever comes up where you become deposed, which means there's a suit, and now you have to do a deposition. The excuse of that's I denied the claim because that's what my manager told me to do, or that's what my file examiner told me to do, or my team lead, it's not acceptable. You better have your reasons. You guys are sending out denial letters and you're denying stuff and you're using language from the policy that is completely out of context. And you're erroneously denying stuff. I just had somebody come to me because I have friends and family come to me. I also assist contractors with writing estimates and dealing and negotiating or not negotiating, but reconciling sometimes with carriers. And somebody said that the adjuster, I don't know who the carrier was, who they work for, the adjuster, they had a previous loss from like a year or two before. And now they have this loss and it's similar. And so the adjuster asked, okay, you got a previous loss. They did the part of the work, right? They say, okay, I see you got you looked in the loss history. You got a previous loss. Did you have those repairs completed? Looks like we issued out payment for X, Y, and Z. Did you have repairs completed? The insured said, yes, I did. And the adjuster said, okay, can you send me, mind you, this was never done voice to voice. The insured cannot get a hold of the adjuster. Another reason why they want this AI situation in here, because insureds are leaning towards, well, if you're not going to help me, you're not going to return my calls, then I'm going to figure it out on my own. They should feel like that with insurance. It shouldn't be that way. Return their calls, please. But they ask the insured to provide proof that they have the previous repairs done. They ask them to provide receipts or invoices from the previous contractor who did the work. Less than a week later, from that request that they made via email, they received a denial letter in the mail, which means you requested that from them and then you closed their claim and denied it. You didn't even give them time to get the information in, and they got a denial saying that they had a prior repair that they didn't have fixed. They didn't even give them a chance to send in the proof. So that person calls me up, was like, What was that?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. That sounds like an inexperienced adjuster. Even though they've denied it, please send in your invoice with your proof as soon as you find it, and then write a letter advising that you would like to complain that they did not, because technically what that adjuster just did, they just violated claim settlement practices. Now that's another thing y'all encroaching upon real bad by not doing proper claim handling. You're going to end up in court big time. And if all of you all are doing it, what constitutes an unfair claim practice is if it is being done frequently enough by enough people who either, and I don't care if you're IA working for an IA firm who works for the carrier, or you're a staff adjuster. If all of you all are doing the same thing and doing it with enough frequency, it can be considered a practice, a normal practice for the company. And if it's enough of them, we're going to sue. It's another way insurance companies are losing money. So you're costing them too much money with your improper claim handling. With it's one thing to be inexperienced because we're supposed to learn from that, right? I mean, you got new people that go into new jobs every day, but are you learning from your mistakes? Are you allowing the mistakes to teach you so that you can be better? Or are you just doing the same silly stuff every single time? What I used to do is every time, once I got reminded to do something twice, I had anybody who used to work with me could tell you, I used to write sticky notes to say it was something like, for instance, for Katrina, because it was so big, they had a special rule to say any claim under 20,000, I think, do not apply like apply it on the estimate depreciation, but don't take it out on the check. Meaning we're going to give you everything but your deductible, right? And the second time I forgot to do that, I write a sticky note. Do not put depreciation on the check if it's over 20,000 or under 20,000, right? Put it on my sticky note. And I have a bunch of these all over the place to remind me, don't do that no more. And that's what I would do before I would submit the claim up for review. I would go through my sticky notes all around my little keyboard and on my desk. Did you do this? Yep, you did that. Okay, you did that. You didn't do that. Okay, we got that. We got that. Blah, blah, blah. It was like my checklist. And then I sent it off for review. So I don't blame them. AI is scary. I went to an AI class at PLRB we have really got to get really, really good, even better at what we do, even myself, because there was things, for instance, there was an example that the gentleman showed where he told this AI program, which created images from a text description, and he told them to create a Louis Vuitton bag with water damage. And it was 3 times he told it to do this. The first one looked weird. It looked like it was off of The Shining. It looked like it had red dye or something all over it. The other one looked like AI. So that one looked like AI. The other one of another one looked like AI. It looked really, really fake. It looked really glossy and really glassy. But there was one of them that, imagine, now we could tell it was AI because it was on this big display screen, right? Because he's doing a presentation, and I could walk up to the screen. But and also I'm a very experienced content adjuster. But I just thought to myself, oh my God, if this image is smaller and it's printed out amongst other images and it's showing like this is what the insured sends in as proof of ownership, we're freaking in trouble because we don't have uh adjusters with the skill set to, like mine and like my mother's, to be able to decipher that that's AI, or even to know the next question to ask, to like even to feel suspicious about it, right? To be like, oh, this looks kind of hinky, but I guess I'm gonna take it. And there you go, you overpaying the claim. There you go, paying into insurance fraud real easily, just like that. So we really gotta step up our quote unquote A game. We gotta step it up because if we don't, our jobs are on the line. These insurance carriers are on the line. The money is not unlimited. It's coming from premiums. And if you look at do some research on some news stories from the insurance, some of these insurance companies that are in Florida that went insolvent. When they go insolvent, meaning they got more money going out than they got coming in, and that's it. The coal company shuts down. And when that happens, they pay claims until they got no more money. And there are some people who are left with no claim payment. So that's it. They want to use AI to dummy proof the claims adjusting process, everyone, and how you combat that and ensure your longevity as an adjuster in this industry is you got to get real good at what you do. You've got to step up your game. I can't emphasize it enough. You're probably going to hear me say something to that extent in every single episode this season. What you're doing is not enough. Let me just say it like that. And you need to do more. And that's that. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but next week, I mean, but it's to put you on your toes. Mind you, this is probably something that's not going to be coming down the line for another somewhere between 5 to 10 years. But this technology is moving fast, honey. It's moving real quick on us. You better get it together. Get it together. Okay. You better get it together, you all. Get it together. Because your job is on the line. Okay. So if this is something that you really want to do and you're passionate about helping insureds, get good at reading those policies. Get good at knowing how to navigate Xactimate. If you're on the property side, get good at identifying building materials. Even if you got to do stuff, I told you all what I used to do. I knew I didn't know, and I would literally print out the policies and take them home and read them in my hotel room at night for fun. I read policies for fun, but as a result, I'm a policy interpretation guru now. You can't tell me nothing about policy. I found out people don't like contents. My mother and I found that out. And so we became a beast with freaking contents, which is why TPAS has the only personal property content certification course of the industry. You got all these managers, all these CEOs, all these claims department directors and managers, and don't none of them know how to handle contents. You better carve your way out. Carve your way. Carve your way. You better toe your road. You better figure it out. And whatever it is, you get good at it. If it's auto insurance, then get good at knowing how a car works. If you want to do large equipment, then get into it. Do what you need to do. If you want your thing to become flood, it's still building, construction. If you want to go into commercial, then go find you a class. Go walk around and look at some construction sites. Go talk to some people. See if you can get in, especially if you're not employed right now or not deployed right now. This is a good time to go be a roof salesman on commission because they'll teach you how to get up on the roof and identify certain damage. Now, not from the insurance company's perspective, but at least you can start getting the practice in. I'm just saying, when there's a will, there's a way. So, with that said, next episode, season 2, episode 3, we are going to go into more detail, and I'm hoping I'll have my whole PLRB photos and videos edited by then. I'll do a little presentation, show you all my PLRB experience, and I'll talk into more detail as to what PLRB is, what the organization is, what it's about, and why is it beneficial for adjusters to attend. And I think that is all that I have for you all tonight. For any adjusters, as a reminder for any adjusters out there, if you are looking to get your CEs, your continuing education credits, is your license about to expire? You need your CEs. You don't have time to go to somebody's class and sit in for a couple of days. I got you. Go to www.webce.com/TPAS. That is our partnership website with WebCE. If you select on set up your free profile, it's all free. Not the classes, but your profiles is free. Set up your free profile and then go to continuing education and select your state. And then you can either select a continuing education packet if you're missing all your C's, or if you're just missing a few, you can select individual courses. And because you'll be using the TPAS partnership website with WebCE, you will receive a 10% discount that is automatically applied. If you need any help on how to navigate the site, please, from our YouTube page, go to the playlist that says TPAS Tips. And on that playlist, there will be a video on WebCE. All right. So get your CE credits, you all. Get your CE credits. And if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, if there's some topics that you would like me to discuss, please put it in the comments, put it in the chat. I'll take a look at it and I will try to get back with you as soon as I can, or add it as an episode for the Adjuster Checkup podcast. I thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening and tuning in, and I will see you all next week, 8 p.m. Central. See you later. Bye.